request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste a Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
Get ready for a big adventure. Touch a Truck is coming soon. This interactive event lets kids and kids at heart get up close and personal with the trucks, equipment, and vehicles that keep our community moving. Bring the whole family and get ready to climb aboard.
Then join us as we honor freedom and culture at our Juneteenth celebration, happening June 21st at the Westside Theater Guild. Come out for a day of music, remembrance, and community pride.
This is our infant classroom, and you just can't go by without looking at the baby.
We're here to talk about something that truly shapes the future of our city, and that's early childhood education.
All the curriculum is active and excite children about problem solving and learning.
Today, what we were able to witness is the greatness of Gary and the greatness of Head Start coming together.
We know that the success of our children directly influences the success of our city.
In order to create big projects and deliver for Northwest Indiana, we have to have and must have an educational workforce to be able to fill those jobs.
We're laying a foundation for stronger families, a stronger economy, and a stronger Gary, Indiana for generations to come. This isn't just about education. It's about building a stronger community. When we invest in our children, we invest in our community.
Those students who have that early investment or intervention have a greater outcomes to be successful.
Let's celebrate America's birthday, the Gary way. Our 4th of July parade rolls out July 3rd at 5 p.m., bringing excitement, community spirit, and plenty of red, white, and blue to the streets. And don't rush off. After the parade, head over to the Railcat Stadium for fireworks at 6:30 p.m.
Then, gear up for a new school year at our Back to School Fest, hosted by First Lady Crystal Melton and the City of Gary. Join us August 2nd at the Gary Railcat Stadium from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Get ready for free haircuts, free immunizations, free uniform vouchers, and exciting giveaways, from backpacks and sneakers to gift cards and more. Plus, enjoy food, fun activities, music by DJ All Out, and free transportation provided by GPTC. Don't miss this incredible day of preparation and celebration as we send our students back to school in style.
We
just learned from the city of Gary that they activated their emergency response.
But right now, the trees is the biggest issue. General Services is out moving those trees in the streets. A lot of trees have fell on homes and cars, so it's kind of like a recovery effort right now.
So what we do know is that citizens in this neighborhood have identified and verbally articulated that they see a tornado that did touch ground in Gary. Multiple homes and businesses sustained wind damage and flooding, as well as numerous trees and limbs down throughout the entire city. Our general service team, we've been working very closely with our utility company, with NIPSCO. We do know that NIPSCO sustained over 13,000 power outages throughout Northwest Indiana.
We're able to do a primary and secondary search on all of the residents and all of the houses in this neighborhood. Everyone is accounted for. We have found no other victims. There are no reports of anybody missing.
And thank God.
Good morning. Welcome to the City of Gary Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for June 18th, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. To confirm we have a legal meeting, may we have roll call to confirm quorum?
Member Green. Present. Member Allen. Secretary Morgan. Present. Vice President Dumas. Present. President Suggs.
Present.
Mr. President, there are 4 present and 1 absent.
With 4 members present, we have quorum and a legal meeting. Item number 3 on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the meeting of June 11th, as well as the meeting of June 16th. I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
There is a motion to approve the minutes for the June 11th meeting, and we will approve June 16th with that same motion, but vote separately. Any discussion on the motion for June 11th? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All in favor for the meeting minutes for June 16th?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting minutes have been approved. Item number 4 on our agenda is claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims for June 20th, 2025. General funds, $192,892.52. Special revenues consisting of local roads and streets, park department, Health and Human Services grant, community development grant, opiate grant, mayor's donation fund, warming and cooling, court, green urbanism grant, CDBG, COVID-19, media fund, joint PS training, fleet insurance, Love Your Block grant, and consolidated area TIF, Midwest Center TIF, $179,495.10. The ambulance non-reverting fund, public safety income tax, ARPA, redevelopment non-reverting fund in Marquette, a total of $152,453.45. Total claims to be paid, $524,841.07.
Thank you. May I have a motion to pay claims?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas. Yes. President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the motion carries.
We also have before us ratification of payroll, total $2,784,437.73. This ratification is for June 13th.
May I have a motion for ratification of payroll payable June 13th?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas. Yes. President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, votes 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the ratification of payroll for June 13th has been approved.
That concludes claims.
Thank you. Line item number 5 on our agenda is correspondence and agreements.
Mr. President, we have correspondence from the Law Department. The first is a memorandum of agreement between the City of Gary and the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission for lawn mowing services. This is for lots that are owned by the Redevelopment Commission so that we can properly maintain them this summer. And this memorandum of agreement lets us do that in a much more efficient way. So I'll just read little parts of the memorandum. Whereas this memorandum of agreement between the City of Gary and the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission is entered into for the purpose of establishing a relationship between the parties to provide for the procurement and payment of lawn mowing services for properties collectively owned by the city and the Gary Redevelopment Commission. The Gary Redevelopment Commission is willing to provide funding to the city to pay for services of vendors who will provide lawn maintenance to properties collectively owned by the city and the Gary Redevelopment Commission. Each governing body, meaning this board and the Redevelopment Commission, finds the intent of this memorandum of agreement to be in the best interest of all parties, that the undertaking will benefit the public. And so it just goes on that way, that we agree that this is how we're going to move forward. We indemnify one another. And so with that, I move that we approve the memorandum of agreement between this board and the Redevelopment Commission for lawn mowing services.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the agreement with the City of Gary and the City Redevelopment Commission for lawn mowing services. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the table?
I think that was just an error with the way it was copied.
2 and 4 are both missing.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad Ellis loves the trees.
It's in my copy.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the amount for this is $200,000. Responsibility of the Gary Redevelopment Commission. They agree to provide additional funding to supplement the city's funds in the payment of the lawn maintenance contractors in the amount of $200,000. So.
Thank you. Certainly appreciate this effort, part of the administrative's effort to make sure that the team works together. And I'm very appreciative of the Public Works team for doing this work. Do want to recognize that this is just a first initiative, and so we just put a spot of $200,000 with the properties that redevelopment owns. There may be a need for additional funding to cover all of the properties, so just want to set that expectation that this may not be.
Okay. And another note, our Public Works Department and the contractors they work for, I think, have really stepped it up and are doing a good job of maintaining things. This agreement lets us be more efficient, as I said earlier. So once they're mowing lots in a given area of town, they don't have to stop and skip over something the redevelopment owns. They can just keep going, which is saves money in mobilization costs and labor costs and fuel and everything. So
that is the Melton way.
Yes.
Any additional comments? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the motion carries for the agreement with the City of Gary and the Gary Redevelopment Commission.
Okay, next, Mr. President, we have a contract for professional services with Jane Gordon LLC. This contract is to provide for the contractor to do training, leadership training for the Gary Leadership Conference, which is going to be held on June 20th, 2025. Jane Gordon is qualified to provide the training as per this contract. And so with that, I move that we, give me 1 second. The not to exceed amount of this contract is $3,500. The contract will be paid upon submission of an invoice after delivering the services. So with that, I move that we approve this contract with Jane Gordon LLC for an amount not to exceed $3,500 to provide leadership training at the Gary Leadership Conference.
There's a motion on the floor to provide training professional services with Jade Gordon LLC in the city of Gary. May I have a second to the motion?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the table?
Just as this goes with the Melton Way, that we're looking for ways to improve our leadership, become more efficient, work better as a team, and adopt best practices. So the next few contracts are toward that same goal. So that's background.
Well, thank you. I certainly am looking forward to the session myself.
And then just for clarification, you said 35,000, 3,500. It's okay. I know you meant.
So, I was being very generous.
You were.
So yes, 3,500.
No more comment. May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Mr. President, we have a contract for professional services between the city and Co-Creative Training Solutions. This is also to provide leadership training for the city. The not to exceed amount is $600. And the contractor will invoice us after delivering the services, and they're duly qualified to provide the services we're contracted for. So with that, I move that we approve the contract with Co-Creative Training Solutions in the amount not to exceed $600.
There's a motion on the floor that has been properly seconded to approve the professional service contract with the city of Gary and Co-Creative Training Solutions. Any discussion on the motion on the table? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the contract professional services with Co-Creative Training Solutions and the city of Gary not to exceed $600 has been approved.
Okay. Next, Mr. President, we have a contract between the city and Wheeler Social Impact LLC. This is also to provide training services for the city. This contractor is qualified to provide these services and actually has provided services in the past. I think that were pro bono, so that was very generous of them to help in the transition and the start of the Melton administration. Also, this contract is for an amount not to exceed $1,000, and the contractor will be paid upon submission of an invoice after delivering the services. So with that, I move that we approve this contract between the city and Wheeler Social Impact LLC for an amount not to exceed $1,000.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the professional services contract with the city of Gary and Wheeler Social Impact LLC. May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the table? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, the professional service contract with the city of Gary and Wheeler Social Impact LLC not to exceed $1,000 has been approved.
Okay. Next, Mr. President, we have a contract for professional services between the city and the Leadership Institute of Purdue University Northwest. This is also for leadership training, and obviously the Purdue Leadership Institute is qualified to provide leadership training for the city. The amount not to exceed in this contract is $600, and they'll be paid after they submit the invoice after delivering the services. So with that, I move that we approve this contract for leadership training with the Leadership Institute of Purdue University Northwest in an amount not to exceed $600.
There's a motion on the floor for a professional services contract with the city of Gary and the Leadership Institute of Purdue University Northwest. not to exceed $600. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the table? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
For the vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the professional service contract between the City of Gary and the Leadership Institute, Purdue University Northwest has been approved.
Okay. Next, Mr. President, we have a contract for professional services with the Gary Community Schools Corporation. We have someone here from Community Development who's going to come up and explain the scope of the contract, I believe, and the amount not to exceed is $170,000 $170,000 even, which would be paid. Hey, I was not a math major. It'll be paid in 2 equal installments once it's invoiced. So I move that we approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
It's been moved and properly second to approve the motion with City of Gary and Gary Community Schools. We have a representative for discussion.
Sure. The summer passport program is going to be from grades K through 6. Will be at Glen Park Academy, and 7 through 12 will be at Westside, and they will be doing different training with different age groups. Their funding from us will be for operational costs like staffing, transportation, and computers and their technology fees.
When does it start?
It started June the 9th and it ends July 17th.
Okay. Do you know how many participants?
120.
Okay. Thank you.
In each or total?
Total.
Any additional questions for Latria?
I have one. It indicates that also they'll be trained in drone training. Is
Drone.
that drone?
Mhm.
A drone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put drone.
It's drone.
Okay, that'd be great.
Jerome who?
Really sucks. Really.
And then they're going to produce a final report so that we can report back out in
Yes.
regards to the results of the success. Thank
Yes.
you.
Any other questions?
Yes, one more thing.
Yes, please.
When they do the drone training, would they give us a demonstration afterwards? I'd like to see what they've accomplished.
Yes, they can. She's open to anything that they do. She can send us a copy and we can have for our records.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hearing no additional questions, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the professional service contract with the City of Gary and Gary Community Schools has been approved.
Okay.
I just want to add, sorry, I know that was supposed to be in discussion, but this is a free program. So there's no additional cost to any Gary resident.
Very good. Is this a first for this program with? No. Okay. Any additional contracts?
Oh, contract. So, I move that we table the next item, which is with Robinson, and I'll get an internal meeting scheduled on that.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we table the contract discussion with Benjamin Robinson and City of Gary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item is tabled.
Next, we have a contract for property abatement services between the city and Safe Environmental Corporation. The services to be performed by the contractor are the contractor agrees to provide all labor, materials, equipment, and disposal and removal of asbestos containing material at Fire Station Number 12, located at 1901 Mississippi Street, as outlined on attached Exhibit 3. And the amount not to exceed is $7,100. They agree to invoice the city, and I'm glad I could make Ellis's morning. So with that, I move that we approve this contract with Safe Environmental Corp. To remediate and remove asbestos at Fire Station Number 12 for an amount not to exceed $7,100.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the property abatement services contract with the City of Gary and Safe Environmental Corporation. Amount not to exceed is $7,100. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the table?
Just that it's very important that we do get this material out of the fire station where our firefighters do spend a lot of time. I don't know if Chief Tillman wanted to speak to it at all. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This asbestos was found due to the prep for the station renovations. And so they will not continue with the work until this asbestos is out of there. The renovations for Station 12, 4, and 13 will begin on June 23rd, this Monday. And as soon as the asbestos is out of Station 12, they'll be able to continue with the renovation. So this is holding that project up from being done. So
The asbestos that was found, Chief, where was it at?
there was some in the flooring under the tile, and then there was another pipe that was wrapped with some asbestos, which is not abnormal for older buildings to have it wrapped. And so they're gonna remove that from the pipe that's going through the wall and then patch the wall up.
So
Am I getting that right? Okay.
the other stations didn't have the same or similar issues?
No, they tested for asbestos in all 3 stations. Some of the preliminary tests came back positive, but upon further testing, they were all negative. The Station 13 and Station 4 were negative for asbestos. Station 4 has been there for a while. It had some work done some years back, and so it was removed. Station 13 was opened up at around 2000. And it should have never been a part of the station anyway. That was one of the ones that came back positive, and we were curious, like, how did that happen with a building that was opened in 2000, and then up on further testing, it came back negative.
Any additional questions for Chief?
Nope.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any additional questions on this motion? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 against, the property abatement services contract between the City of Gary and Safe Environmental Corporation has been approved.
Okay, that concludes correspondence from the Law Department.
Thank you. Item number 6 on our agenda is the item unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business to go before the board?
I don't believe so.
Do we have item 7, new business, for the board?
No, sir.
Ron, is there anyone in public comment on hold or in queue?
No, there is not.
I'm looking at the sheet in the room and it doesn't appear to have anyone listed. Is there anyone in the room that would like to speak before the board? Seeing none, may we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.